Welcome, my political friends of the interwebs. What you are looking at here is the Blade, known to Toledoans as the Toledo Blade, or actually it's probably backwards. It's the Toledo Blade, known to Toledoans as the Blade, or as the rag, or as the, well, there's lots of things we call it. There's lots of things we call it. Here's the funny thing. One of America's great newspapers. So says they. Not I, but so says they. Not most people, but so says they. They, like most newspapers across the United States of America, are, you know, they're hurting. The one thing that keeps Blade Communications afloat is the fact that Blade Communications also owns the local cable company, and for the most part, with the exception of Dish, have a monopoly and have had a monopoly in Toledo, Ohio for a very long time. Now that's gradually changing, but not fast enough. So why am I displaying this left-wing liberal rag? Let's just describe it as that. Well, the Blade buys assault rifle within minutes. Yeah. So I'm not going to read you this article, and here's why. The Blade likes to sue people that do things like that. There was a radio disc jockey in Toledo who used to, his big shtick was, I read the Blade so you don't have to. And he would read articles out of the Blade and then do his commentary, which should have been covered under the First Amendment, except the Blade, they're not fans of the Constitution, only when it applies to their little warped minds. Yeah, you know, the First Amendment is awesome in their book as long as it's being exercised by them. Like most liberals, I was going to say libtard, but I'll try to keep this highbrow. Like most liberals, they're okay with their freedom of speech. They're just not really cool with anything that you may have to say contrary to theirs. So, okay. Jeff Jarrett, let's give this guy his proper due. That's him right there. Jeff Jarrett! Yeah, enemy of the Constitution and Bill of Rights. Most likely a card-carrying communist. I don't know that to be truth, but that would be my guess. Yeah. Jeff Jarrett, enemy of the Constitution, enemy of the state. Well, probably not the state, because the state's an enemy of the Constitution as well, but definitely enemy of the people. So what Jarrett did was he basically wrote a hit piece, or to be honest with you, an opinion piece disguised as, this is the front page of the Sunday paper on March 31st. Yeah, Easter. This is the Happy Easter edition of the Blade. On the front page, yeah, opinion piece on the front page of the Blade. And I guess I could probably read you the beginning of this without being sued. Maybe I will. Hey, look, I'm being sued right now. I try to keep the lawsuits against me down to one a year. They're kind of expensive. I have to tell you about that another time. All right. I am no stranger to being sued, but I will tell you this. I always stick up for my rights. And if I am in the right, I will always fight and defend myself in the court of law. And I have never lost. Ever lost any kind of slander suit or any bullshit like that against me. You know, don't mean to be cocky about it, but, you know, it is what it is. Because I speak the truth. As I've always said, as long as you're speaking the truth, you're golden. At least I like to believe that. All right, this says, the column by Jeff Jarrett, the Blade's deputy editorial page editor, is one in a series of occasional editorials and columns on violence in the Toledo area and possible solutions that will appear in the Blade in 2013. Okay, now I just want to get this out. Okay, I just want to get this out. The reason that I no longer buy the Blade, and by the way, I did not buy this newspaper. This was given to me by an interested party. Okay, and that person did not buy this newspaper either. That person got this newspaper for free. Because the Blade likes to do that. They give away their rag for free, hoping that people actually buy it. But the problem is that they don't seem to get it. Is shit like this is why people like me and my buddy who gave this newspaper to me don't spend our money on this freaking rag. We don't, and we won't, ever. Ever. Will not happen. Will not happen. And then they wonder why they can't pay their bill. Well, thankfully for them, they've got their cable operations because, you know, they can keep this left-wing freaking yellow journalistic bullshit afloat with other money. So, anyway, you know what, hang on, let me get rid of this real quick. All right. So anyway, Jeff Jarrett apparently is going to be doing several hit pieces throughout the year, disguising it as you know, identifying problems and then of course offering solutions. Because he's like, hey, Jeff Jarrett, if nothing else, is a solution guy. That's what he is. That's what he is. He's a solution guy. Okay, you know, I wish I could read this article to you because it's absolute bullshit. Here's the funny thing. It's blueprint, liberal freaking nonsense is exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. There's a problem. Problem is assault weapons. But in the article, in his little hit piece, his little opinion piece, not news, not fact, opinion, not to be confused with facts. We cannot allow facts to cloud the attack on these evil black things here. Okay, so in his little hit piece, he does say that even if you get rid of the assault weapons, okay, oh, I'm sorry, he did, to his credit, describe them as assault style weapons or military style weapons. They've slid the style in there because they know that before it was easy for us to attack and say, you know, listen, Jack, those are not true assault weapons. You're not getting a weapon where you have a selector switch where you can go full auto. Okay, so now they're like, well, you know, they keep beating us over the head with truth. You know, so how are we gonna manipulate this? Well, we'll just call them style weapons, but then yet still say things like they spray bullets. You know, which they don't. They don't. But anyway. So Mr. Jarrett, in his attempt to sway public opinion, which by the way is exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to convince a whole lot of people that don't know any better that these things are evil, and a common sense solution would be to ban them. And even when he goes on to say that, well, you know, it's, you know, the number of violent crimes, you know, using these are, you know, so small it wouldn't make a huge impact on the actual overall crime rate. Even though he slides that little thing in, all the rest of the bombast is so freaking out there and so over the top that that's all the people are left with anyway. So they don't make the common sense, you know, the common sense decision of, well, you know, we're not talking about a major part of the problem here, so why focus on this? Okay. And by the way, and of course, he does in his article have the whole thing about how you don't use these for hunting and blah, blah, blah. You know, and I don't know if any journalism school in America teaches the Constitution or the Second Amendment and lets people like this buffoon know what exactly the Second Amendment is about, because I'm fairly certain that our founding fathers did not have a burning desire to protect the rights of hunting. Okay, that was not exactly what they had in mind when they framed the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. They pretty much were pretty certain that they wanted Americans not to be able to be disarmed by the government, which of course is what the British were trying to do to us back in the day. That's right. Back in the day. These are modern muskets. These are modern muskets. If our founding fathers were here today, they would tell you that. If you can carry it, you should be able to own it. Period. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Jeffrey, are you listening? I hope you're listening to this. Shall not be infringed. What part of that don't you freaking get? So now here's where like all liberal freaks, okay, Jeffrey goes over the deep end and becomes a shameless freaking bastard. We got victims' families. That's right. Oh, tragic. You know, Try. My heart goes out to these people, but for fuck's sake, are you serious? You have to use the families of victims to forward your gun-grabbing agenda? That's what you have to do, Jeffrey? That's what is okay with you? That is what is okay with you, is to use the victims' families of violence to push forward your agenda to disarm the United States and destroy the Second Amendment. Shameless. I've yet to meet a lefty that wasn't absolutely shameless. It's disgusting. But here's the good news. Jeffrey, and I got to give him credit. Listen, I will give credit where credit is due. Jeffrey has the balls to put a phone number and email on there. Where's it at? I'll give him that. He has the balls to do that. Jeffrey has the balls to say, hey, you can contact me at this phone number if you want, and you can send me an email. Now, I don't know that he expects anybody to send him emails, chastising him for being an enemy of the Constitution and Bill of Rights. I wouldn't think that he expects those kind of emails, because people who live in this liberal fantasy world that Jeffrey lives in, truthfully, they think we all feel the same way. They think that it's just common sense, and the minute that they can actually explain to us the common sense involved in their argument, that we will be like, hey, that makes sense. Dude, thanks for opening my eyes, Jeffrey. Thanks for opening my eyes. Yeah, the common sense thing to do if you want to make an impact on violent crime in the United States, the common sense thing to do is disarm law-abiding citizens. Yeah. It's all coming freaking clear to me now, Jeffrey. I can't tell you how much I thank you for that. Yeah. It's abundantly clear. Disarm the law-abiding. That's it. Give the women rape whistles. Or, train them how to urinate on themselves or defecate on themselves. And everything will be just awesome. Because drug lords don't have illegal guns. No. They would never dream of such things. Ever. Yeah, gangbangers, no, yeah, the minute that, listen, the freaking second that you remove these evil things from the streets and make them illegal, drug dealers will be like, man, those things are illegal now. We can't go around, breaking the law. I mean, we can't go around breaking the law. Ridiculous. And another thing that this left-wing clown had to say, this left-wing clown, Jeffrey, left-wing clown, he likes to bring up things like Australia, and after Australia's, ban on guns, mass shootings just stopped. Really? Well, first of all, maybe so, but I don't know that there's a connection between the gun and that, because the most violent place in the United States, or excuse me, my bad, the most violent place for gun deaths on the planet right now is in Mexico. Mm-hmm. I mean, not including wars in sub-Saharan Africa and places like that. All right. Well, in Mexico, it's illegal to own these weapons. Now, yes, some people could argue that because of the Obama administration and Eric Holder and Fast and Furious, that, there was we did pretty much give the guns to the drug lords down there and, whatever. Of course, we don't really know all the facts about that because people like Jeffrey, they don't like to report on Fast and Furious. No, we have no idea what's going on with that. Left-wing retards. Oh, what am I? I'm at over 14 minutes now. I think I've said my piece. Jeffrey, I'll tell you what. If you get wind of this, and I hope you do, feel free to contact me at madbadvoodoo, voodoo spelled with one O at the end, at gmail.com. Yeah. Let me know where I'm mistaken. And for the legal department of Blade Communications, Hey, listen, it's all about the First Amendment. Jeffrey had something to say, and then I had something to say. Isn't the First Amendment just beautiful? See ya!